Hi, everyone. I'm Patrick, this is Elias, and we're the founders of Sideko. Before Sideko, Elias and I were solutions engineers at an AI startup. We worked with major banks like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, ING, and Bank of America. Elias and I were in charge of going into these banks, installing the software, connecting the APIs, and getting everything running in production. But after doing this a couple times, we were frustrated with the process. Going live took months, and because of this, everyone was missing out on revenue. So we built a product to solve this problem. Sideko cuts time to revenue by 90% for API products. It does this by automatically creating tailored developer tools for specific use cases. This isn't another Postman-like tool that only helps engineers try out APIs. Sideko is a new type of product that actually produces all of the production code needed for complex integrations. We're live with major financial institutions like Prudential and dozens of fintechs. And today, we're going to show how easy and fast it is to create powerful tooling for your APIs. This demo has 3 phases. This is the first. We're going to demo from the vantage point of a bank called Mockbank that offers payments APIs. And Mockbank's biggest customers are e-commerce platforms. This is Mockbank's developer portal behind me. It's managed by Sideko using our documentation builder. And most of you in this room probably already have some type of developer portal. Maybe some of you are still sending your customers PDFs, but let's not talk about that. If you think about it, an API doc is kind of the bare minimum that you can offer to a developer. You're showing them what's possible, but not actually helping them deliver value. Even with this guide behind me that explains our e-commerce integration, engineers still have to translate the requirements, code, debug, test, and they're probably going to end up setting up a support call with Mockbank. And during this time, we missed out on revenue and spent on support while the integration wasn't live. In the next phase, we're going to use another Sideko product to do a lot better for our customers. With the same payments APIs we just showed in the developer portal, we can create a Python SDK. See, Elias already generated it. Let's open up the code. So we just generated a couple thousand lines of code, and we have a complete SDK here. It's like we hired an expert Python developer to create a native experience for Mockbank's payments product, but we got it instantly. But what is an SDK, and what does this mean for Mockbank? It means developers can use the APIs without learning any of the underlying technical intricacies. It provides the best possible experience for developers. You can see in this documentation file that Sideko created that the new interface is very simple. The best part is all of this code is automatically tested. These tests are making real API calls to another Sideko product, the Mock server, that's validating the API calls are correct and authenticated, and that the SDK works without any issues. So all the tests pass. That means our entire SDK is ready to go to customers. Our major invention at Sideko is our code generator. We create high-quality code in 8 different programming languages. Any engineers that want to discuss our technique and how we use Rust to generate code, come talk to us after, because we love to nerd out about this. But we only have a few minutes, so we'll keep going. So far, we've created API docs, we've generated and tested an SDK, and that's all reduced time to value significantly already. We're almost at our 90% cut in time to revenue. But the SDK we just built only calls individual endpoints. We can add end-to-end workflows that call multiple endpoints to accomplish our main goal here. So let's do the final part of the demo now. Mockbank always has to describe the same flow to each e-commerce platform. Create a new party, wait until fraud detection is complete, and then create 2 micro deposits and wait for that verification. With Sideko, we can create this entire integration for them so they can copy-paste, plug in their data, and be ready for production. So we gave this prompt to Claude Code within the context of the SDK that we just generated it. Instead of making you watch Claude write the code and work, we've saved the result and applied it here. You can bring any LLM coding assistant you want. Sideko creates rule files for agents to provide guardrails and checks on the quality of the custom code. The LLM here is simply extending the strong base SDK into something tailored for Mockbank's customers. And you might be wondering why the LLM can't create the entire SDK. First of all, we only have 7 minutes, and that would take all day because this is a lot of code. And second, translating raw API descriptions into production-ready code takes thousands of decisions that have massive trade-offs. We've encoded all of the best SDK practices into our rules-based generator. And finally, API products are always evolving. Our system protects against breaking changes, so you can actually rely on the system and put SDKs on autopilot with no engineering lift. So we've started with a long guide, like you can see here in the code example, that shows how to do it yourself. Even in Python, which is the most concise language, it's still a lot of code. And then there's even more code to do this in Java. So let's look at our final result now. We have one function that runs the entire e-commerce platform workflow. So in 5 minutes, we've abstracted away a lot of painful engineering work. If you think about it, without developer tools like these, there's tech debt piling up all around your APIs. Each engineer is writing their own version of this SDK when they integrate without one. But if you have an SDK, everyone's sharing access to one very high-quality library. This means far less technical support and the easiest possible path for upgrades as you release new API products and features. With zero engineering effort, we've built powerful developer tools and turned Mockbank's APIs into a full product. This would normally take months of work and teams of engineers. Anyone that is reasonably technical can use Sideko. We've seen solutions engineers take this and run pretty far with it. Any teams that build, market, and sell your APIs will benefit from tooling like this. And we don't charge per user. It's a flat rate for access to our code generators, so it won't cost you as much as other solutions in this space. You can get started with Sideko today. We have a free trial on our website, so please sign up. You can have an SDK set up in less than a minute. Thank you so much.